My name's Richity, and welcome back to episode 8 of the Create Academy server. So, as usual, I did a little bit between episodes. I built the exterior for the cocoa bean farm. There is no entrance to this because I don't really think I ever need to get inside of here. It just needs to be producing cocoa beans. But as you can see, I left the top empty because I don't actually know entirely what to put here. If any of you have any ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. So, the plan for this episode is I'm going to be setting up a farm. And by farm, I mean like a literal, like, crop farm. And that's why I've, like, flattened out this whole area here. You might be wondering, like, what crop am I going to be farming? And the answer is sugarcane. I know that I made the bee farm for sugar, but the entire time, like, I've been playing a little bit to, like, build, and the flattening out the area over there took quite a while. And in that entire time, this has only made like 3 stacks of sugar, or maybe like 4 stacks of sugar, which I don't think is really fast enough uh, for the chocolate farm. I don't entirely know how much sugar I'll need, but I can still use the honey later. Like honey is used for some other things, like I can make honey candies, and I guess that's really it. Besides like the honeyed apples, but I'll find a use for it eventually. Uh, but yeah, so I'm going to be setting up the sugarcane farm over here, and I'm also going to be hopefully setting up some train infrastructure. So I'm going to have a train that comes over here to pick up the sugarcane, and then it's going to come over here to deposit the sugarcane at the chocolate factory, and it might go over there to pick up the cocoa beans, but I'm not sure about that yet. But anyway, I guess I'll just start with getting the sugarcane farm ready. I don't entirely know how I want this to look, but I think that if I were to, like, just carve out, like, a big square here, and then do the lines for the water to place them in, then I can have, like, a tractor kind of thing going over the top and taking the sugarcane. And then it'll deposit it at a train station somewhere here, and then it'll bring it right over to the chocolate factory. So this is only one of the farms I plan to make in this area, as I left a lot of space open. But this is like about a stack of sugarcane, so I think this should be more than enough sugar for the chocolate factory. And then I'll just have, like, as I said, like kind of a tractor thing from a minecart contraption going over the top and taking any sugarcane that's grown. I kind of tried to go for like a irrigated farm. I don't know if that's what it's called, but like kind of where they have water in it and they grow stuff. I'm not sure if I really achieved that at all, but I'm hoping it'll look fine once I actually have everything in place. And as for other farms that I plan to put here, I'm really not sure exactly what I'll put here, but maybe wheat later for something. Like if I farm wheat, I can make chocolate pie. And I think I can also make ginger dough if I farm wheat. So I'll probably be farming wheat later, but I don't really need it right now, so I won't bother with it. But yeah, it requires wheat flour, and I'll probably just make, if I do end up making ginger dough, I'll probably just manually put the cinnamon flour in. But that does also give me a use for the honey I have, so I'll probably try and make ginger dough eventually. But yeah, for the start, I'll make chocolate. And then next, I guess I'll just make the minecart contraption for that thing. I made a minecart contraption for the machine I used to dig out this whole area. But that was like a while ago, so I guess I'll just I'll go over the process of making one again. It's going to be a really simple design. And how it's going to work is I'm just going to dig down here to just a little bit below the farm here. And then there's going to be just a rail going all the way across, and then I have 16 mechanical harvesters. I think I need, I guess I could actually get away with like half this amount, because realistically these aren't really doing much for me, so if I just harvest these lines, then that should be good enough. And anyway, I'm just gonna build the contraption and show you what it looks like once it's done. So now you can see that the farm is running. I've just got the machine hooked up to a minecart contraption under the ground, so that there are rails, and it'll just be going across, taking all the sugarcane that it reaches, and on this side, it'll deposit it right into this chest. Eventually, it'll deposit it somewhere else, I guess. It'll probably go into a train, as I was talking about earlier, and that train will then go over and bring it to the chocolate factory. I think I'll just bring the sugarcane to the chocolate factory, and then I'll turn it into sugar at the chocolate factory. I just think that'll look nicer since this farm area is going to be, like, entirely outside. Alright, so I guess next, what I've got to do is try and start up with trains. Because I think that once I have all of the materials coming over to the chocolate factory, then I should be ready to, like, get the chocolate factory actually started. And I guess I could start doing that next episode. First off, I need to get an idea of where exactly the trains are going to stop. So I need to come up with a plan on how big I want the chocolate factory to be. So I'm going to do that really quick, and then I'll show you how trains are set up. Alright, so in order to fit a whole chocolate factory, this thing's going to need to be pretty big. So I've laid out a very... I think it's pretty big. I'm hoping it'll be big enough. I guess once I get decorating, it'll probably seem smaller. But the first floor will probably just be, like, storage for the chocolate. And then the second and third floors, I'm going to have the actual creation of the chocolate. I'll probably just route the train track starting from over here somewhere. It'll probably pass by right in this area. It'll pick up the sugarcane, and then it'll go around the mansion over to the chocolate factory, and then come around back, and then deposit it all right here. But I guess without further ado, let's get started on some trains. So the first thing that's needed for trains is the train tracks. Train tracks are pretty easy to craft. You just take a stone slab, give them 2 nuggets, and then press them. I could do this in here, but I think that would take way too long. So instead, I'm going to I think I'll make a tiny contraption just for this. I'll probably do it down in the basement. This should be pretty simple to make. We'll just put it on this wall. So you got the mechanical press, and then 2 deployers. Or just power all that with a mechanical belt on the inside, just like that. And then there will be another mechanical belt right here, and then I'll just connect it to these. So it'll come, let's see this. Okay, so it'll probably just power like right here. I do something like this. And I can power this part, and should all work. Going the wrong direction, but that's fine. I can just swap these. I don't feel like using a gearbox for something I can fix like this. Alright, and then I just need, I actually need 2 funnels and some chests. And then it's actually up and running. That was pretty fast. And there it is. So now I just input stone slabs right here, and then it'll work. I think I've got a stack of iron nuggets in each of these, so should be able to make 1 stack of train tracks, which might not be enough, but if I need more, it's easy to craft more with that. And I could probably use this for other things as well, if I, like I could just switch these up, or switch what's in the deployers and use them for other sequenced assembly. So as you can see, the train tracks are coming in. In order to actually make a train, I will need both the train station block, right here, which requires a train casing, and the train casing is the other thing I was about to mention, which just requires a brass casing and a sturdy sheet. I've actually made a couple sturdy sheets already because I made this lava fuel tank, then realized it was actually pretty annoying to fill because you need to fill it with buckets, and you can't make infinite lava sources as easily as infinite water sources, so it's a little bit annoying, but anyway, they're pretty easy to craft. I might need to grab some more obsidian because I used quite a bit of it on this, so I'll check my supply. I think it's actually still in the chest for the crusher down here. Yeah, so what you do, you take obsidian, you crush it down, and then once it's done crushing, it has the chance to give either powdered obsidian, or it also has it has like a 75% chance to give your obsidian back as well. So as you can see, I lost 1 obsidian, but got 5 powdered obsidian. So I'm just going to keep crushing this until I have no obsidian left. So I got 19 powdered obsidian, and to turn it into sturdy sheets, it's pretty easy. You need to first fill it with a little bit of lava, and then you need to press it twice. So I'll just press it once, and then it'll go into this chest, and I'll press it again. And after that, you get sturdy sheets. And then I'll just make a couple train casings, like 5 of them should be enough. Actually like 8. And then you just like with all the other casings, you place them down, and then apply the casing. And then for the train station, I also need a compass, so I'm going to craft that up really quick. I should only need 3 stations, because then I'll know to go to the farm, to the mansion where the factory will be, and to the lab. And then after that, last thing I need, train controls. I should only need 1 of these, and thankfully, still have a precision mechanism. Alright, so now that I've got these train tracks, I guess I'll show you how they work. So, you start with placing 1 down, and then you can right-click that track, and it'll open up like this this visual of like where you can place the track. So I'll just place this down, and as you can see, it'll like kind of change how the track will be placed depending on how I place it. So I'm going to place it all the way up to here, like that, and then it's going to go up this hill. And I can hold control in order to smooth out the track, because you can't see much that it does here, but just place it right here, like that. I'll clean this out so it looks a little bit nicer. Alright, and then what I want to do is I'm going to create a loop here. So when the trains are coming this way, they can actually go back. So they'll come here, right over to here, and then they'll pick up the cocoa beans, and then it'll go right back on its way. I don't have enough train tracks for this entire thing, so I'm probably going to need to craft more, but I'll get this first loop made, and then I'll make the train that'll be actually bringing the cargo around. And then you can also connect train tracks together like this. So, train will come in from this side, pick the stuff up right around here, and then go around in the loop, and come back. And something you can do while making train tracks is actually hold a block in your offhand, so that when you place the track, it will actually place the block underneath it. As you can see, I had like 3 stacks with me, and it took like almost a full stack. I placed the blocks right under it so that this gap doesn't look too bad. Although I'm probably gonna make it look nicer later. And then the train, I'm thinking, will just come around here, probably deposit the anything it's gotten, and then go to the sugarcane farm to grab the sugarcane. But before I get to that, I want to actually get to making the train. So what you do to make a train, first, you take one of these train stations. I want to place it as far up on the track as I can. And then once you have it, you can right-click on the station to create a new train. And then, as you can see, it says no bogies, and in order to add more, I hold a train casing, and you can see there's this blue like highlight on the track. Now I right-click that, creates a new bogie. I'm going to have probably 2 for the main carriage, and you can actually right-click these to change the style. So this will be the front of the train, and then I'll make the cargo part of the train right back here. I'll just kind of temporarily lay this out to show you what it'll look like. It's gonna be pretty simple. I'm just gonna have like a platform here, and then I'm gonna place some item bolts on it. I'll probably also place something to make it look more secured. So I guess I need to do some thinking on how I actually want this thing to look. So I'm thinking I'll do, for the front, I'll do like a gray color scheme for it. Fortunately, I don't actually know. Okay, I could probably make it out of andesite. That might be easy. So I'll just grab a ton of andesite and make some andesite blocks to make the front of the train out of. So I guess I should say I've never like actually built a train before with this mod. So I don't know how this will look, but I'll just kind of base it off of other train designs I've seen. So it's not the best looking train in the world, but it'll work for what I need it to work for. So once you have everything assembled, you just need to right click on the station again and click assemble train. Now you can see everything's like a contraption now, and I could actually control the train now since I've got everything I need on the train. Alright, so now I should be able to control this train. So if I just right-click on the train controls and go into F5, you can see that the train is now working. So I unfortunately don't have much track, so if I go any further, it's actually gonna derail. But yeah, next thing I need to get some sort of creature to put on the seat to make the conductor of the train. And then I can give it a train schedule and tell it to be moving between the different stations. So I guess I've gotta set up those different stations now. I finally got the actual like train layout set up. So I've got the loop here that I started with. It goes up this hill behind where the mansion will be, and then finally it takes a big loop around to the farm, where it just does the same thing as over here, and a loop back to go around. And it'll pretty much just be kind of running between these three areas, moving around the supplies. I might add more to the network eventually, but for now it's just these three areas. Anyway, right now I just need to drive the train over to farm, where I can then figure out exactly how the stuff from the sugarcane farm will be put onto the train. Looking at it, I should probably put another portable storage interface on this side of it, just so that I don't need, like, to bring all the items over here. You can disassemble trains on any station, so even though this is not the station where it started, I can still disassemble the train here, and then I can place that portable storage interface right here on the train. And then I can just go over here and assemble the train once again. Alright, so I'm thinking I'll take the items from here, they'll go on a conveyor belt over to here, where they'll be put onto the train. So I guess I'll just get out my toolbox. I'm probably just going to power this with a water wheel for the time being, as I don't think I'll really have many contraptions here, or many like machines that require rotational power, so I think it should be fine to just put it on a water wheel. I'm also going to use one of the normal water wheels, as this shouldn't need like more than a little bit of stress capacity, and the smaller ones are a little bit faster. It's a little bit messy, but here's the system that I have for getting the sugarcane from the machine into the train. Unfortunately, this place is not lit up, so there are a ton of mobs around here. I really don't feel like lighting it up right now, so I'm just gonna have to deal with them. But yeah, so you can see all the sugarcane from the farm. I'll probably speed up the conveyor a little bit later, but it's all being put onto the conveyor, and then it goes into that chest for temporary storage until the train gets here. And then once the train gets here, it'll unload hopefully everything from that storage to fill up the train. And then once the train stops receiving items or is full, then hopefully then I'll have it so that it goes around and deposits them over there. But unfortunately, I'm actually out of time for recording today. And in order to get this video out on time this week, I'll have to cut it short. I'll try to record the setting up of the other depositing areas so that you guys can see kind of how I set those up. I'll probably also decorate a little bit because, I mean, this doesn't look the nicest as it is right now. So I'll try and make it look nice before the next episode. But anyways, thanks for watching. That'll be it for me for this time, and I'll see you next time. Bye!